Hey yo, turn up the beat a little bit.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, cool. Actually, maybe turn it down just a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't change anything.
Right on. You know, sometimes in this life, you have to grow up, and you have to eat your dinner.
And you know, sometimes chicken sandwiches just aren't enough.
Bill Riley.
Blowing up like Liam Fire.
Bill Riley.
Continental is my favorite tire.
Bill Riley.
30 minutes was the pizza killer.
Bill Riley.
We hung up off Mark Miller.
Bill Riley.
This is a podcast.
Bill Riley. Bill Riley. Bill Riley. Bill Riley.
Ran over at a cart race.
Bill Riley.
Broken leg and a neck brace.
Bill Riley.
My corgi's named Watson.
Bill Riley.
Little leg so he can't run.
Bill Riley.
Pump belly killed a guy
Bill Riley.
in a drive-by.
Bill Riley.
He had to qualify.
Bill Riley.
That whole thing's a lie.
Bill Riley.
Son Tucker's on house arrest.
Bill Riley.
We tried to get him as a guest.
Bill Riley.
Thought he'd be good, but no fear.
Bill Riley.
Cause we got Randy Lanier.
Oh, you guys are really kicking it. I get it like this. Bill Riley, alright?
Steve ATM.
Bill Riley. Bill Riley. Bill Riley.
Internet haters.
Bill Riley.
Drunk commentators.
Bill Riley.
Vegans eat potatoes.
Bill Riley.
We went to a crater.
Bill Riley.
Hopped in our Honda and we went on our way. 12,000 miles through the US of A. People always ask why we go on this quest. Truth be told, I don't know, but take a look at our gas!
Bill Riley.
Bill Riley.
Bill Riley.
Bill Riley.
Bill Riley. Bill Riley.
Bill Riley. Bill Riley. Bill Riley. Bill Riley.
Bill Riley. Bill Riley. Bill Riley.
Bill Riley. Bill Riley. Bill Riley.
Bill Riley.
Bill Riley.
Bill Riley.
Bill Riley.
Bill Riley.
Bill Riley.
Bill Riley. Bill Riley. Bill Riley. Badass. Bill Riley.
No, I cannot believe I just did that.
What are we doing?
We are driving through Abilene, Texas.
Ovalo.
Is that where we are?
Yeah, Abilene's the big city.
Oh, okay. So we're driving through Ovalo, Texas on our way to Jeff Brown's house. And as soon as we turned onto this back roads gravel road, we saw a hog running wild that was like the size of a dog, you know, not like a little pig, but something that was pretty significant in size. And it jumped over a fence. So we're passing the Four Seasons Ranch apparently. And So far, this is our definition of what Texas really is like. What the f was that?
What?
That was something. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
There's like an animal hanging from the fence.
Yep.
Yeah, we can't
No.
not.
No. Go.
That was it. Was that it?
Oh,
Yeah.
that. Oh no, he didn't make the jump.
There's two of them.
Proceed to the route.
There's another one right here. Look. That's why I'm like, do they hang?
Oh. No, they didn't make the jump. I'm pretty sure they didn't make the jump.
What are they?
No.
There's three of them. There's no way. This is
No,
like,
this is by design.
wow. Okay, well we gotta get.
This is to send a message.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, are these like jackrabbits or something? They're massive. So we've clearly entered into some sort of Texas Chainsaw Massacre situation. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, into the car.
Let's get out of here.
Into the Acura.
Oh, good. A fork in the road with no more directions.
Take a slight right turn.
This isn't a road anymore.
What? This.
Like, that's what I'm terrified of. Is like the random people we're passing. They're like, hey, they know. The feds are here.
They've seen too much.
Exactly. Dude, look at this. This
Oh, this. I don't know. He said top of the hill. We're at the top of the hill. I think we're at the top of the hill. There's a metal building. Well, that's a metal building. Okay, that's like a hunting tower.
Yeah, exactly. So we're definitely
So,
not in his driveway. As
Maybe we walked into like his own game.
This could be like,
Answer this riddle.
what is wet and always dry? I don't know. Wrong answer. Sean! Hello.
Hey, where are you guys?
That's a really good question. We're stopped in front of Steamboat Mountain Ranch. Does that mean anything to you?
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Oh.
you're on 84?
Are we pretty far off?
I think so. Obviously, your GPS didn't find it on your phone. Putting in our address.
Yeah.
Didn't work, huh?
Yeah.
Steamboat Mountain Road. Yeah, see that?
Oh, ranch,
obviously
ranch.
Steamboat.
No, sorry, Jeff. We're in front of a Steamboat Mountain Ranch. Like it's a person's ranch.
Oh, yeah, I don't know where that is. Let's see. What can we? Well, we'd come and get you if I knew where you were, but Steamboat Mountain Ranch.
Can you like start a signal fire of some sort?
A signal fire? Yeah,
I'm serious. Okay, we'll drive to Ovalo and then we'll start from there. That's a good place to start for us. Found it.
Well, you think you found it.
Right. Yeah.
This is a house.
This is a house. Okay. This is interesting. Should we park right?
Yeah, just pick a bay.
You made it. Yeah. Good to see you.
We got a little bit of light.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got lost a little bit. Good to see
Yeah,
you.
we'll be okay. You as well. Thanks for having us.
yeah,
So
no
obviously
problem.
you know Sean.
Yeah. good,
So
Sean.
give us a quick, before we lose the sunlight, like outside tour of this crazy place.
Okay, so it's a metal building, and it's a giant shop with a small house attached.
Okay.
And that door back to this, that walk-in door back to here is pretty much our living quarters, and from there all the way to there is all race car shop and toys and motorcycles
Right.
and all that kind of stuff.
And you guys ran everything from go-karts all the way up to Formula cars for Colin's career.
Yeah, from the start, quarter midget stuff, right through go-karts to Formula Renaults. We ran all that out of here, and now we just kind of play with it. We still have the go-kart
Yeah,
track.
you have your own go-kart track over there, which
Yep.
you were saying is like a 26-second lap. So
Yep.
you want to go have a look at it real
Okay,
quick?
sure. Yeah. So this is the front straightaway.
Okay.
And you wheel out right from there and
Right.
right out to the go-kart track. And racing season has kept me from mowing the grass here lately.
Sure.
But
Job's getting in the way.
yeah, so that way around, there's a couple crossovers you can see, so you can configure it differently. You can go backwards, you can do whatever you want. But Colin basically, from the time he was 8 years old, started racing here. We did all the work ourselves, all of these tires. We got these tires, we drilled 4 holes in them, tipped them upside down, and stacked them all up.
Right.
And
Yeah, it looks like FIA curbing and walls. You're good to go.
They've reached the tire walls a few times.
So I guessed that was like a missile silo, and then that was where the elevator was that went down to the underground. Like,
We'll go with that.
okay, yeah. So that's probably what that is.
Actually, it does go down under the ground to our water well.
No, neat. Right.
That's what that is.
So not
That's
exactly what I thought.
No,
yeah.
but it sounds your version sounds a lot
yeah,
better.
right.
You can hear, and you have. So that's the well.
Okay.
Straight
Yeah.
down 200 feet.
Uh-huh.
Pumps it out through there, through the filters, through the softener, back into the house.
I'm gonna guess you built this.
I did.
Yeah, of course, right?
I did. They gave us a hole in the ground with a pipe running out that ran that way, and I went, yeah.
I can do better.
I think we need a pre-filter, we need a carbon filter, we need a 5-micron filter, a water softener, a UV filter, and then that goes through here down into the house.
Of course.
That's what you need.
You gotta have it.
Right.
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 So this is like the engineering,
This is
home
the
engineering office.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. This is where I spend most of the time trying to figure out how to make race cars go faster.
Right. Right.
And a collection of cool stuff, helmets. Most of those are Collins helmets. I guess you got Michele Alboredo's helmet.
Oh,
I like that.
That's amazing. And then you created your own walking desk here.
Yeah, because I have to spend so much time on the computer that I can then turn those monitors on and walk while I work.
Sure. Yeah, that's
Try
awesome.
not to get too fat.
I know so many people that would do that.
Yeah, yeah, it works out.
Got the workout room, which was formerly also
Workout
a
room
classroom.
used to be the homeschool
Right.
area. We had a couple desks there, and they would do their homeschool and then turn around and go work on the go-karts.
Right.
Or it was actually really handy. You know, it'd be like, okay, we're going to study fractions. Oh, I don't like fractions. Just a minute. Get up. Look at this go-kart. How many teeth on the front gear? How many teeth on the rear gear? Okay, divide those two. Oh yeah. Okay, so watch when the engine turns once, the wheel turns a sixth of that. Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Right.
Fractions.
Yeah, fractions are
Done.
cool.
Fractions
Right.
are now cool.
Yeah, no one ever did that for me.
Right. So this is the machine shop, and this weird thing is a float pot. It's basically a spa that you can lay in that is full with Epsom salt, so you float in it.
Right.
And it's a really relaxing. It's like a spa that you normally a whirlpool kind of spa, but it's just way relaxing. So after a race weekend, this is like. Whew.
This is awesome. I've never seen one of these before, and I didn't even see it when we were walking around. And yeah, like.
So when the tornadoes come, you jump in here, and we have a little TV and our
Oh yeah, look at that.
which is all hooked up to, and the weather radar and all that kind of stuff. And then we've got a battery in here with a power inverter, and this battery is on a
it's like a car battery.
battery tender.
Right, sure.
So it'll power this whole thing, the fans and everything, for about 3 or 4 hours.
Nice.
Off the battery if we lose the power.
And it's bolted to the floor, you said?
It's bolted to the floor and about 40 different half-inch lag bolts straight into the concrete. And then this is thick steel.
Right. I noticed it has a lifetime warranty, so you're probably going to be okay. Yeah.
I never noticed that. Lifetime warranty. I guess if you got hit by a tornado and this failed, your life would be
You're
over,
like, hey,
so
I
you
had
wouldn't
a
have to
warranty.
warranty. Right, it wouldn't have to warranty it. So 23.3.
So 2030,
31 is
2031 is, sorry, 2331 is the lap record for the go-kart track. Is the go-kart track named?
Mesa Vista Speedway.
Oh, well, there you go. Mesa Vista
We
Speedway.
named our ranch Mesa Vista because the view you guys saw is view of the mesas. Mesa
Okay.
Vista.
Yep, yep.
Yep.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. We have, of course, the track records here for everybody. We're weird. I know. It's weird. There's Colin.
So it's not just like, yeah, no, I did a 22.
Oh no, this is like,
yeah, let's see the data.
so here's the data. Let's see, 23.16 on a YGC tire, 710 with a Jika motor. in 2001.
92801.
Right, 92801.
Yeah.
So you
Wait, and this is you got your class,
right, the class
and then you have
the tire.
Okay.
Because it mattered what tire you were on. Let's see what we have.
Well, thanks again for showing us your home. I know
No
it's kind of
problem.
intrusive for some people, but you were very willing to show us. and I
No,
think
no.
a lot of people are going to get a kick out of this.
Cool.
'Cause this is like racer heaven. So awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks
no
a lot.
problem. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
It's good.
Bill Riley.
All right, I think we're live. I think we're live. We'll just assume we're live.
Yeah, we could be live.
We could be live because we say so. And welcome. Does it look like we're live on the YouTubes?
Yeah, it looks like we are.
All right. Well, welcome to yet another edition of Thursday Night Blunder. This is the round 2 of 2022 here on Thursday, December 15th. And yet again, we have another special treat. Now, we're not doing this weekly like we have in years past. We were just doing a couple of years. This will be our last one of the year. But with me, as always, is my... Oh, by the way, I'm Sean. And with me, as always, is the other guy that does the old Dinner with Racers podcast. That is you. Who are you?
I'm Mr. Ryan Eversley. How's everybody doing tonight? Good to see the chat room's already fired up. And I tuned in last night for the practice session with you so we go over some stuff. But mostly it's because I was so excited about this really dumb concept that I just wanted to see what we were in for. And we laughed a lot last night.
We did. So we'll go back to the old split screen and take a look at what we're seeing here. But so last night we did some practice racing. And, well, let's go to the main feed here. Hold on one second. I got to hit a lot of buttons. Got a lot of ifs. A lot of what have yous. Anyway, so you and I were brainstorming some different Thursday night blunder ideas, I don't know, a month or two ago. If I was a creative douchebag, I would say we were ideating.
Oh, okay. That's the new thing?
That is a word if you pretend like you matter. Well, go ahead. But we
blue skied it.
We blue skied it. We were ideating, and
we peeled the onion.
And normally, you know, sort of with the fact that I do some of this stuff in my fun time, whatnot. Normally, a lot of the ideas kind of come from things that I've observed. But you specifically wanted to see road course right turn in sprint cars, and of course, if you're going to go right turns, then what track do you have to go to?
Yeah, I mean, we refer to Lime Rock as the bull ring. It's kind of like our Bristol in sports car racing, but it's predominantly right-hand turns, so much so that turn, I guess it would be turn 3, is actually named the left-hander because it's the only left-hand turn if you run the traditional course. So what better than to take cars that don't ever turn to the right to a track that is predominantly right-handers?
Exactly. So we are, I don't know who we're on board with there, but if you are watching this on YouTube, keep watching. Of course, we're also on Twitch and Facebook. However, if you're on the YouTube, specifically the YouTube, not so much the Facebook or the Twitch folks, you can go ahead and write in and comment and ask all kinds of questions there. Ryan is going to take a look and answer questions that we deem appropriate or if we think to look at them. But it looks like there's already a bit of an active chat room, so it's always good to see.
Yeah, we were getting some pretty cool comments about the Jeff Brown facility, which to this day is one of the coolest places I think we've ever been. Just like we thought we saw dead jackrabbits hanging on the fence. Turned out to be, I think, deer. Isn't that what it was?
They were coyotes. They were beheaded coyotes. They were beheaded coyotes. Yeah. So apparently farmers in West Texas believe the best way to get rid of coyotes is to hang them up on the fence and teach them a lesson so that other coyotes see that. That is some West Texas stuff right there.
Yeah, they're literally saying like they'll know when they see that we cut off the heads of all their friends and put it on the fence. And they even put it on the fence part where they were jumping through the fence.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
But we thought because we're idiots that they were jackrabbits for at least like
a
while.
Least like
4 or 5 hours.
And well, because we kept seeing them. Yeah. I mean, we saw so many so the first one or two were like, oh, this is just like a jackrabbit that didn't make it. And then it kept going, and we kept seeing more and more, and then it became a horror movie.
Yeah. So do us a favor if you're watching and you're on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Go ahead and tag Continental. and maybe put the link up so we get some more fans and watchers. But shout out to Andrew Barca, who's going to be helping us again with our social media. He's throwing some GIFs up on Twitter. So if you saw something really stupid, you might get to see it again in GIF form later. So check that out as well.
Absolutely. And with us, as always, we've got running these fantastic cameras that you're seeing. We've got Lee Thompson out in the country of the United Kingdom. What's going on, Lee?
Evening, everyone. It's chaos. I think is going to be going on tonight, as is the norm for Dinner with Racers.
Exactly. So Lee and I were talking as we got set up here. Now, not a lot of wing sprint cars happening out there in Europe, correct?
I mean, I had to kind of ask you what you wanted me to call them, right? So that was probably a good sign that I was a bit more familiar with the MX-5s than the wing sprint cars. So yeah.
Correct. But actually, just while we're talking about that, so we do have MX-5 cars out there in addition to the wing sprint cars. If you look at the timing screen to your left, you'll see there's black numbers and orange numbers. Orange denotes a Mazda MX-5. Black denotes a sprint car, a wing sprint car. Now, it is worth noting that within the wing sprint cars, if you're a real dirt racing fan, you'll know that there are 410s, 360s, and 305s that all race at different times. We're allowing all three. It basically depends on your talent level as to what you want to run, but they're all one category as far as we're concerned. And worth noting that the MX-5 and the wing sprint cars, they're not two classes. This is one class competing here for heat races, and we'll get into the heat racing in a little bit. But this all has to be managed by our race admin, who also did some practice racing with us last night. That is Tyler Newitt. Tyler, how's it going?
Hi, Sean. It's going great.
Thanks.
Excellent.
Thanks for filling that airtime. I'm not doing other buttons here, trying to figure stuff out.
No, I think it's going to be, the racing last night was fantastic, unexpectedly so. And I'm hopeful it's not as chaotic as you're predicting, so I can eat my dinner.
Yeah, oh, there you go. So, so we are doing something a little different because it's sprint cars. We figured why not do heat racing. Now, Ryan, I'm not asking you to get into the specifics, but what is heat racing? Because it's very specific to these kind of cars.
So wing sprint cars, I mean, if you go to an average dirt Saturday night race somewhere, especially in the Midwest, middle of summer, they get 100 cars can show up at some of these events. So they bracket race them down. They'll have 12 cars in a heat. They run them down the top 3 or 4 advance, and then they finally bring it down to, a semi-main and then the main. And it's a big deal in dirt, and especially in sprint cars. You got to make the A main. It's huge. So we'll be doing something very similar tonight by breaking down the fields just a little bit and giving you guys a little bit more action. Plus, we figured out that the shorter races tend to lead to a little bit more chaos immediately. So we know the fans like that too.
100%. So yeah, it will be heat racing tonight. We have up to 60 cars allowed to participate in this whole event. I don't think we're going to get 60. Tyler, do you know what we're up to now?
I think 35.
Okay, yeah. So we're going to get nowhere close to 60, but that's all right. So our feature race is the final thing that we close with. It's going to be 25 laps. So all the stuff you're seeing now is to get us to that feature. We're allowing only 50 cars to participate in the feature. So if we have 35 cars here with about 20 minutes remaining in practice, maybe we'll get 3 or 4 more, but I don't think we'll hit capacity. So I imagine everyone that's here will make the feature if it stays this way. But basically, we're going to do this practice session, which has 20 more minutes left, and then we'll do qualifying, which is 5 minutes, and everyone gets to run. If you are in the top 10 in qualifying, you automatically advance to the feature. If you are, and then we go to 2 heat races. We split this field in half. We run 2 heat races. If you're in the top 10 in either of those heat races, you also make the feature. And then we'll run our, what's called the LCQ, our last chance qualifying, and that will cut off the top 20. Anybody that's outside of the top 20 will not make the feature race. As it's looking right now, we will not be at capacity, so I don't think anyone's going to be going home. But that could change if we get an influx in the next 20 minutes here. But the heat racing and the LCQ still matter because, of course, in our feature race, we do what we would always do with our grid. Ryan, any idea where I'm going with that?
Well, we try, again, chaos. We're all about it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip that grid. We're going to make it an inverted grid, which is something that I think everybody in Formula One wants to see on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
Well, we're doing it here at Thursday Night Blunder.
Exactly. So however people qualify, running their heat races and LCQ, we're going to reverse that final order. So our slowest, worst performer will start from pole for our feature. It'll be a 25-lap feature. We might have a couple yellows. We'll see. And then we'll do our normal wave-by procedure where you and I and our special guest we'll help look at some cool paint jobs. But all right, so while I hit some buttons here, you wanna look at driving these things in a sprint car? How's that sound to you?
Oh, absolutely. Let's see it.
All right, so we'll it'll take us a few seconds to see it, but when we get to some onboards here, we'll take a look and see what just what it is to muscle your way around this track in one of these big, heavy sprint cars. Because we watched the practice racing last night, and it was an exciting thing. So this is John Cantu. John was actually doing a lot of practice to lead to this event. He was in our practice race last night, so John is a really good guy to stay with and see how he does. So this is turn 1. Ryan, I'll let you kind of walk us through what's going on here. But right here into turn 2, that's the lone left-hander. Walk us through what else is going on.
Yeah, the left-hander here is a very short chute, which gives you a passing opportunity on the inside there if you can get alongside somebody. This leads us on to the other straightaway of the track, which isn't actually straight, but call it the no-name straight. And then that leads into a very fast right-hander. We see a ton of understeer here for John Cantu. Up and over the hill, which if you go too fast over that thing, you can do a wheelie. Brings you into West Bend, very fast right-hand corner. That curb on the inside is treacherous. And as you come out, you don't want to track out too far. Into the downhill, which is really sketchy. I had a huge crash there earlier this year. That really sucked. And that's a lap around Lime Rock. And if you notice, that took like about 50 seconds. So I think right now the fastest lap's like a 50-something.
Yeah, so actually
fast,
John is P1. The guy we're with is P1 in practice. His fast lap is a 48.4.
Wow.
And as you can see up in the top of your screen there, that is 7 seconds faster than the MX-5s, who are in the same class. Once again, they are battling for the same honors. The reason to drive the MX-5 is simply that it's a more stable car, and in the chaos that is Thursday Night Blunder, maybe a car that's a little bit more symmetrical and made for road racing might get you through the 25-lap feature of chaos, but we'll see. So if we go to a more conventional TV camera of John Cantu, we'll be able to see how these cars kind of roll around, because we say asymmetrical because, of course, dirt sprint cars. Well, what direction do they normally go, Ryan?
Yeah, they're supposed to go left, and oftentimes if they're turning right, it's because it's a dirt track. You get it tracked out there, but the weight and everything is meant for the car to turn left, even when you just go to the brake pedal. If you notice, a big giveaway with these sprint cars, especially turn 1 at Lime Rock, is the heavy braking corner, heaviest braking corner on the track. The second these guys go to the brakes, the car wants to turn left. It wants to pull to the left. And I'm not sure how it's set up on iRacing, but I think it's because they only have a brake caliper on the left front. They don't have a right front caliper. So all these tricks to get these things to turn to the left, and it's pretty crazy. But also you can look at the offset of the chassis, the way the wing is set up. I mean, it is clearly not meant to do what we're trying to get it to do, which is why we did it.
Exactly. So if you look at John Cantu here, you'll see when he goes into right-handers, like watch him going into turn 1 here, because you'll see that lunge that Ryan is talking about. He's going down the main straightaway here. He'll go into heavy braking turn 1. Watch how the car immediately wants to go to the left when he hits the brakes, and then how the right rear tire wants to. There he is. Now watch that right rear tire. See how that lifts up? That is because the car is not supposed to go that direction, and around goes John.
Yeah, and one of the things we noticed in the practice races last night, John and a couple other drivers, but John Cantu specifically, has really figured something out on getting this thing to turn and rotate. But if you watch some of these other cars, they have a really hard time in turn 1. Like the right rear is like 2 feet off the ground, and the car can absolutely roll over on itself if you don't get the thing sorted out, change your setup, or just try a different thing, because John's got it really good through turn 1.
Exactly. So that's what we've got. There is Steve Lubender on his hood. And there you go. So we'll talk to the visuals for a bit, but maybe we should, while we got some time, we have about 14 minutes left. You want to look at some liveries?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
All right. Well, we will take a look at some liveries. We're looking at William Booz right now, who's driving around in a Conti-clad car. And then once we get more to take a look at, so we'll take a look at John Cantu, who we've been talking about. He's got the Eric Foss Racing. We'll talk about Eric in a minute. Some Dinner with Racers signage on the side. Not bad at all.
Yeah, looks really good. I like the orange wheels, too. They really stand out. We got a little Motor Trend love up there. Do us a favor, especially on Twitter, tag Motor Trend TV, Motor Trend Plus. Just let them know that you're enjoying what we're doing here, because this is stupid, and they're probably going to have no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly. That's Daniela Taubert we're looking at here, who's apparently in Germany. And that is a Sarah Fisher sprint car that she's running as a tribute, which is pretty cool. Carl Edward here. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sarah Fisher, to this day, stands as one of my favorite episodes we ever did.
Totally agreed. Carl Edward in a pink and orange pig.
Nice.
Or a Continental pig. I like it.
Oh, the Continental
pretty badass.
pig. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Travis Wall. Travis always runs a Piggly Wiggly, and then he threw in a Continental just so he doesn't get, so he still gets the wave by when he needs it from us.
He figured it out. But
Yeah,
he's
he
got an
did.
Acura sticker on there too. But he makes those Piggly Wiggly liveries.
Yeah,
look
he
awesome.
loves Piggly Wiggly liveries. That's his thing for some reason.
Yeah.
Travis
Oh,
Wall.
look
And
The,
then
the
Jared
Ac-
Wakefield. That's a
Yes!
KMD Jack Hewitt.
Yes!
KMD. We're not going to say what KMD stands for, but if you listen to our Jack Hewitt episode, you'll learn. And the old Skull Midget series on the side, which is a throwback. I'm a fan. Jared is actually really loyal and tire only. I don't know. All right.
Yeah.
William Booz. Got
William?
the Uncle Bobby's turkey delivery.
Yeah.
As well as
he's got an
Continental.
NF sticker on the front
I'm
too. I
digging
like
it.
that. I appreciate that.
I like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And
Got the old school wheels.
Yeah, I'm digging it. Oh, and that is me on the front with a shirt of me. William
Oh,
Booz
the-
actually made that shirt, and that's that.
Yeah.
Kenneth Drake looks like, I don't think Kenneth Drake's getting a wave by if it comes up.
No, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I think that's Kenneth Drake's. I think it's his own thing, I'm guessing. Tech Light chassis, Texas. Well, I hope he doesn't go a lap down.
Yeah, if anybody knows what that is.
Why are you racing when you could be milling? That's Davis Trask's car. I respect this. I respect
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
A little bit of a mill
A lot
throwback.
of
Go ahead.
I think it was a 20-year anniversary or something for that movie coming out. It was just like a week ago.
Oh,
We got a
right,
lot-
yeah, we got a ton of
Yeah.
tags. Now, this
Yeah.
isn't related to us, but I did notice Patrick Gallagher was running the old Players livery, which is cool because, obviously you and I are both fans of folks like Greg Moore, Patrick Carpentier, of course, Paul
Yeah.
Tracy. And stay here because there might be some Paul Tracy stuff with us coming up. And John Trainer with, I'm guessing that's his own thing.
We have another driver that did the Players livery for a while too. I think coming
That's
up.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, these cars look good. Pat Gallagher reached out. He obviously races NASCAR, GT cars. He's done everything, and said, "Hey, I really got to get in on this." So good to see him out there.
Exactly. All right. Well, we can go back to some TV vids for a second. Let's see if we can find any crashing going on because that's always fun during practice. But we did see a Eric Foss. I love the Duff beer with Derek Suter.
Absolutely.
So we saw Eric Foss on the front of a John Cantu's sprint car.
Yeah.
And who's our guest tonight?
Tonight's guest is a long time friend of mine. And if you listen to his podcast, you've already heard some of this stuff. But we did a podcast with him a couple of years ago, and it was important to me because he's one of my best friends. He taught my racing school. He's an MX5 Cup champion. He's an IMSA champion. He's done all sorts of crazy cool things. He's currently racing an HSR and a couple of crazy old prototypes, much like the Nissan GTP car you've seen before, and just an all-around total racer. And that's going to be Eric Foss coming on with us tonight.
Absolutely. Eric Foss is, of course, a guy who knows his way around a Mazda. So he seemed like a really good fit. He's obviously done by virtue of participating in as many IMSA ranks as he has, he knows his way around Lime Rock. And, that is basically that. So.
Yeah, and Eric's one of those guys, I reached out to him earlier today and just said, hey, just want to know if there's something I should or shouldn't mention about your racing for next year. You don't want to give anything away. He's like, nah, I don't care, man. You know me, open book. So if you guys have questions for him in the YouTube chat, feel free once he comes on to fire away. And he loves, he's really funny. He likes all sorts of funny movies and South Park and stuff like that. So you guys feel free to ask him whatever you want.
All right. Well, so let's talk some racing here. So, Tyler, you were racing with us last night. What should you expect tonight, do you think? Seems like the 410s are the class of the field, but they're not easy to drive.
They're not easy to drive. It's a matter of getting them to go in a straight line, because when they do go in a straight line, they're the quickest car, but they don't want to. And I suggested to the drivers before earlier in the practice session that a couple of Mazdas just run side by side, because I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be able to get by them in the dirt sprint. There's not they're not made for close quarters racing on a road course, I think is fair to say.
Exactly. What do you think you're on the admin side? What do you think your biggest challenge is going to be tonight? Oh, is that Jason going around? That is Jason Skeen doing his best to get to the dirt.
I think my biggest challenge on the admin side is going to be managing the wave buys, because with a 50-car grid around a 50-second lap, there's going to be some lap cars.
Yeah, there will be, and that's going to make it fun. So, in fact, during our practice race last night, we noticed that in a 25-lap race with, let's say we had a yellow and there was about 5 laps to go in a restart, the second place was actually dictated by the second place car running into a Mazda, freeing up space for third place to pass him. And I suspect with even 2 to 3 times as many cars running tonight, it'll just be that much worse.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see a track blockage at some point on a restart.
Here's hoping.
All right, so if we forget this year, Ryan, how do you like Lime Rock?
You know, it's funny. A lot of people don't like going there. From the driving standpoint, the track is so fast. I mean, the front straightaway is super short. You don't get a whole lot of chance to kind of relax and just take a deep breath and get your heart rate down. So it's one of those tracks that, like, I've seen a lot of drivers come out of the car completely just drenched and worn out because you just don't have any time to stop. And when you do the chicane that IMSA has us run with the GT cars and stuff, it's real rough. You got to hit the curbs and take advantage of that stuff. So, I mean, it just beats you up. But honestly, it's one of those tracks that I hope I race at my whole career. The other side of it is we go there in the summer, and if you told me Connecticut would have one of the hottest racetracks we go to, I would never believe it.
Yeah.
But it rivals Birmingham in August. I mean, it is brutally hot there. It's tons of humidity. It's kind of down in a little low pit right around the outside of turn 1 here where we're watching. There's a little creek that goes through there, so it's got a lot of water, and just the humidity soaks it up in the air. It becomes really gross.
Exactly.
So
and we have
racing
to
there
park.
in the summer.
We have to park in the middle of the track, which is on top of a hill.
Right.
And so at the end of a long day, you then have to go like a mile uphill both ways after you've just sweated everything off.
Yeah. But having said that, the fan base that comes out there is awesome. This year and last year, I spent time before and after the race talking with fans. So many of our DWR fans came by, and we were just BSing, and they brought beers and you know, all sorts of cool stuff. Andrew Barca brings me these really neat models that he makes, and it's just cool that the fans can get such good access there. The podium is right on the outside there of the left-hander, and it overlooks the track, but like all the fans can just walk right down to it and be right literally 10 feet from you spraying champagne. So they do a lot of great stuff there at that track. Also, the food's really good at the track. It's pretty spot on. So
yeah.
The only problems with Lime Rock are the hotels are really far away.
Yep.
And it gets hot as hell. Otherwise,
yeah, the heat, because it's always in July that we go.
Yeah.
And pass, big old pass. I love Lime Rock, and Skip Barber, who of course still owns. Oh, we have a wreck.
Ooh,
Patrick Gallagher, who's also driven Lime Rock a few times in his day.
Probably in MX-5 Cup cars.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of MX-5 drivers, we've got a special guy who's in the lobby waiting for us to bring him in. So why don't we, there's 4.5 minutes left in the session. Do you think it's a good time to start the national anthem?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. We'll play the national anthem for you, and we'll be back with our special guest, Eric Foss.
Okay. Hang on.
Say, can you see?
Start over.
By the dawn's early light. Okay, we got the dawn's early light on now?
Yep. Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, they proved through the night that our flag is still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner it's waving. O'er the land of the free and the home of the sport. Sorry, guys.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that rousing rendition of the national anthem. We'll give you the big intro in a second. But, Eric, if you knew that we had a video of Decal singing the national anthem, what would you think of that?
Yeah, I purposely skipped that part, just so you know. I had it muted at that point.
Fair enough. So, all right. So we got Eric Foss joining us here. I got to make a quick little camera adjustment before I can show you here. But Eric Foss, who's won some Mazda national championships. He knows his way around the Michelin Pilot Challenge. He's driven Lime Rock a few times in his day. Eric, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Actually excited to see these sprint cars run. Random wings everywhere, but yeah, I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. I want to see who's the best in turn 3 because I think that's where the sprint cars are gonna make the most time. But yeah, it's good to be on here. Got my Continental Tire hat on.
Copy. Okay, and we'll see that camera. We'll see that hat in a second. I'm still working on some things, but cool. So you obviously know your way around a Mazda. There's a great podcast all about it, but tell us about your history with Mazda.
So in 2005, a friend of mine, Charles Espinlaub, who you guys did a show on, was racing with Mazda, and he told me about this program that was coming into play with the Mazda ladder system, and said, you know what, you need to build a spec Miata. If you can win, Mazda will pay for your racing. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, that sounds amazing. And so I threw everything at it, refinanced my house, did the whole deal. And ultimately, you know, it paid off. I ended up winning the championship in 2008. They paid for my racing for about 3 years. Raced in the Continental Tire Series with the Mazda Speed 3, which was miserable. But it was a lot of fun to be in that program. And no, Mazda is really helpful for up-and-coming drivers, and I think it's a great program for those involved.
Cool. Now, if you knew that Mazdas were going to compete against wing sprint cars at Lime Rock, which would you choose?
Oh, the wing sprint, no problem.
Nice. Okay. Okay. So you and Ryan go back?
A little bit. A few years.
I know you a little. I know you a little.
Are we coming on like 30? How many? 20?
We got about 10 seconds left to practice before the racing starts.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we met for the first time back in, well, that I recall, back in like 02, 03.
97.
No, I said that I recall.
Yeah. You were a kid running around the shop that I was working at. It was Lotus.
Yeah.
I was working at Lotus with your dad. The only guy that was nice to me there was your dad.
Yeah, that's why he wasn't nice to me, because he was using it up all on you at work. I think we're going to get going here for the first heat.
We are. So this is, you're seeing some track footage right now because we're queuing up for the big qualifying. So this is an open qualifying, which means anyone in the field can go out and qualify. They have 5 minutes to set their fastest lap, and that's everybody. That is all, what do we have, 40-plus cars right now, Tyler?
It is. I think several of them are going to be segmented off into a different run group. They may have a little advantage there. But
So iRacing's cheating us.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, well, we have, but in the field is about over 40 cars, so anyone can go out and run and qualify right now. As you can see, we've got a sea of Miatas. We got a bunch of sprint cars, and the top 10 overall will automatically advance to the feature. So in the next 4 minutes and change, you want to get the fastest lap so you can automatically go to the feature race. You won't have to deal with all the heat racing and all the ways to, risk damaging your fake car. I don't think anybody's going to be going home, so I don't think that's going to be a risk in the same way that we'd hoped. But regardless, it'll still be some good old-fashioned racing.
Oh, one of the fans just pointed something out to me in the chat room that apparently I hold the TCR track record.
Oh, well, there you go.
I had no idea.
Sure.
Yeah, cool. So.
All right. So our fastest time in practice was a 48. What do you think? For times here for pole?
For me, I'm guessing maybe a 50 because I bet in that 48's not easy to do and there's so much traffic.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. But we'll see what happens. So no one has set a time right now. If you look at your upper left, You can see there's a minute 45 into the session. No one has set a time just yet. As people set times, we'll see them start popping down. But again, this traffic's going to make for quite a few headaches, and that is why some people are choosing to drive the Mazda MX-5 because, yeah, it's not going to be as fast as these 410 sprint cars, but it's stable, and you can work your way around things, and you know where the car is going to end up. And so when you're dealing with this kind of chaos, it might not be the worst thing to have.
Yeah, yesterday in the qualifying session, Eric, it was hilarious because they go out there and they just start hammering on that left front tire, and it looked like it was flat because it hadn't come up to pressure yet. So
by the way, Daniela Taubert in that Sarah Fisher sprint car is on pole.
Currently P1 there.
Yeah,
all the way from
well
Germany.
Done. Yeah, it's what is it, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning over there, and she's in that Sarah Fisher tribute livery. She's currently P1 with a 53.2. I suspect that those times are going to come down, but we're halfway through qualifying already, so there's not a whole lot of time to get this figured out.
Yeah, if they block the track or something, which we've seen so far already in practice, I mean, it's possible that no one could get a lap. So a lot to play for here.
Exactly. And Zach Campbell currently P2. Zach Campbell won our practice race last night, so Zach definitely knows his way around. We're watching Alan Space trying to figure out what he's going to do, and Alan Space is going around.
I had a teammate do that a couple years ago there.
Was that Eric Foss?
Nope.
Oh,
nope.
Okay.
Eric's better than that.
Very good.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. So once again, we've got Eric Foss here with us. If anyone's got any questions for him in the chat room, I'll be skimming through a time or two. So just let us know. But I saw a couple people that immediately recognized you. So I know we got some Pilot Challenge fans in the house. Good times.
Jared Wakefield.
Eric, have you ever driven a sprint car?
Funny enough, I have not. I sat in one, and the whole deal with the way the throttle and the brake work totally tripped me out. Actually, Chris Hall had one back in the day at the Panos Racing School, and I sat in his car. But no, I actually got offered to drive a midget car next summer, and I may take that person up on it. It'd be pretty cool.
That's awesome. Would that be out in Texas?
No. Some guy from Detroit who's super bored after having a successful career with Corvette racing.
Oh, okay. Oh. I know. And it's been on our show before.
Correct.
Yes.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I love that guy.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like, good.
Well, I was just surprised to get the offer, but I'm surprised the 410s aren't doing a wheelie over the uphill. I mean, that was what I was really hoping to see.
Well,
so yeah,
go ahead.
I was saying we saw them doing that yesterday in practice, and people have been driving again today. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're cracking out of it right before they get there.
Yeah, that to your point, watching the onboards and practice last night, that is people with experience in throttle modulation because they absolutely do want to lift up. So I think when we get into the race and people are a little bit more heated and aggressive, as we watch Steve Lubender with Trading Paints, one of our sponsors.
Former factory Porsche driver.
Exactly. Going around. Now William Boos. I don't know where William is. He's 21st right now. And again, the top 10 are all going to automatically go to the feature, which right now is all of our big hitters. Stephen Moore, who was insanely quick last night. And qualifying's over. Is anybody?
Fine.
I think that's it. So Stephen Moore took the pole, which means
don't forget that we only saw half of the field then. So
sure,
you're going to have some new names at the front.
Gotcha. But I would assume at least Steven, who is P1 for what we were able to see, he will start in the feature, but he will start most likely last because we're going to invert it. So this is our first of 2 heat races. Our heat races are exactly...
Sean?
Yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt. It looks like it's just going to be one 30-car heat race.
Oh, really?
To decide.
Huh.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's
sounds
iRacing deciding new thing. So we have one 30-car.
With the 10 cars going through, that's all 40 accounted for.
Copy. That does make sense. Okay, so there's going to be one heat race. So the top 10 in this race will automatically go to the feature. The rest will have to do one more race. And this is inverted from their qualifying order. So our slowest people will start our rolling start first. And this race, being our heat race, is 3 laps. They have
30 cars, 3 laps.
3 laps to try and get to the top 10 to make the cut.
At Lime Rock, one of the hardest places to pass.
Yeah. 3 laps. They got 3 laps.
Is that Patrick Gallagher in there?
Patrick Gallagher is in there. He's in a Forsyth livery, the old Indet colors. Anyway, so we're going to do a rolling start. Because we do inverted starts, we did have a rule out there. I don't know if Tyler is going to catch anybody or if this happened. But if we found people gaming the system and deliberately blowing their qualifying to start first, we're going to send them to the back.
We've got about 8 cars going to the back. I'm not sure how many of them intentionally didn't set a lap and how many of them just kept running into cars.
Right, but if you didn't set a lap, you're going to the back because we wanted to have the people that set the actual slowest lap time start up front.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this will be a little bit confusing, but it'll make sense.
Yeah, it's called Blunder for a reason. I like the Dale Senior tribute car. It's pretty good out there, the MX-5.
He's going to move someone.
Oh,
For sure.
absolutely. Absolutely.
If he's true to the name.
Yeah, we were watching this last night. It was surprising. I mean, it was practice, so people were being nice. But obviously, the MX-5 is a bit more stable. And when you have one of those sprint cars up on 3 wheels, you just give him a little nudge in turn 1, he's gone. So, race how you want to be raced.
100%. All right. So again, we're seeing slowly. I think there's a little confusion as to who's supposed to go where. So we might have the most confusing start in history here. But it's going to be a rolling start. We at least are going to see these 2 Mazdas go up front. I'm not sure who these folks are. But the pace car will pull off. We'll have a bunch of Mazdas screaming to turn 1. And then a slew of sprint cars coming after them. It's 3 laps. And again, top 10 transfers.
Oof, ugly start here.
Yeah, not ideal. But we'll see.
Jeez,
I'm expecting chaos
6,
into 1.
Yeah, 6 wide already. And I don't even know if we're green yet.
Here we go.
All right, green flag. So far, about 15 Miatas up front.
This is what we wanted.
Yep.
We'll
Okay,
see.
now.
Oh, Ken, we're off to a great start. Again, it's a 3-lap race. We might even have a Mazda win the way this is going. Oh, no.
If I'm in
Okay.
the front of the MX-5 pack. Oh, we got one of the sprint cars going for the shortcut, trying to make it happen.
Now you can. There is a way to shortcut between turns 1 and 3 if you're willing to risk. And I don't know what's going
we got
on.
Like 6 cars off on the no name.
Okay, we're watching Patrick Gallagher, who is currently P4, with a bunch of angry sprint cars right behind him. And it looks like Davis Trask. Davis Trask is up front with 2 laps to go. And Davis Trask now, with all these sprint cars falling out, Davis is looking strong. See Clay Kirchenbauer spinning around. John Cantu, who is really strong in our practice races. Here he comes.
He's working his way up. Yeah, he's got a good run through the downhill, and it looks like the front end of the field is spread out enough. He might be able just to work his way through there. As we have a big spin in the downhill back there.
Now that front stretch is where the sprint cars are going to make the most ground. So this is where you're going to see John get a really good run on everybody until we come into turn 1 where he's got to not spin and not tip over.
Now, I noticed there, because he has to alter his line, he was up on 2 wheels in turn 1, which normally he figured out that understeer trick. So maybe having traffic is going to affect the way he's able to handle some of these corners.
Absolutely. This is why we wanted to have the race the way we did, and this is why having a Mazda isn't the worst thing, because it's one thing to practice these sprint car 410s, taking all the space you need and all the lines you need, but once these Mazdas get in your way, it's another story. So, for example, coming down the hill here, we'll see if John can get around. Now, he's got enough experience. He'll probably wait. And he does.
He needs to shove it in there.
And John Cantu will take the lead here in our one and only heat race before the LCQ.
Okay.
So John just needs to keep it clean now as we watch Mark Kaufman struggling to get around the Mazdas.
Now, if you notice, he's the only sprint car up there. So if I'm in an MX-5 that I'm Pat Gallagher or maybe Davis Trask, I'm thinking, all right, if I got to take out one of,
and Todd Eldridge just took him out.
Is that Todd Eldridge?
That's Todd Eldridge.
world champion figure skater.
Yep.
Dancing on the brakes there instead of the ice and not getting it right.
That is fantastic. No, and now let's see how Todd still doesn't know how to rejoin. We'll see how that goes. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
All right, so Clay Kirchenbauer and now William Boos. William is P12. And, God, that does not look easy. Yeah, this is the case. Now, remember, it's a 3-lap race, so it's already over. John Cantu takes the heat race win. Does a celebratory, and he keeps it on all 4s. Good for him. Davis Trask in an MX-5 P2. Zach Lewis and Patrick Gallagher filling out the top 4 all in MX-5s.
Somebody in MX-5 tried to shortcut the downhill on the inside.
That's not really a shortcut.
Yeah.
That's just a crash.
But it was awesome. As we see,
all right.
Traditional DWR race finishes there. That was fantastic. I want to point something out real quick. John Cantu only won by 10.9 seconds over 2 MX-5s.
Yeah.
So if you're not him and you're struggling, I mean, like, this is a closer race than maybe people thought it would be.
And that is the fun of having this many Mazdas out on track, because they are definitely mixing it up. And if we think about the race, the feature, which is going to be 25 laps, maybe we'll have some yellows, maybe.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
In the chat room, we didn't get a question yet for Eric, but we did get Corrine Sarah Bowerman, who I call KSB on Twitter. She just wanted to give you, Eric, a shout out for you and Trent Hindeman racing. I'm not sure which track, because I know you do this all the time, but 6 corners, wheel to wheel, it's completely insane, and some of the best racing she's seen in her life. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
No, thank you. Yeah, I think that was Mid-Ohio. That was that was a lot of fun. He's one of the best at racing clean and tidy, and yeah, it's always fun racing with him. I'm gonna miss him this year when he bumps up to WeatherTech Series.
Yeah, Trent Hindeman, one of the young American talents that we have in sports car racing, and he and his gentleman driver have worked really hard at building up their pace and the performance and the package and everything, and now they're going to be in GTD full time with the very, very familiar Volt Racing. I think it's a Porsche, and it's going to look really kick-ass. So cool program for them.
Nice. All right. So this is what would be considered an LCQ. Now, the good thing is the Q doesn't matter because everyone's in the race. It is an inverted start. Now, I don't know how we police this, and hopefully no one driving is listening, but it is an inverted feature. So whoever is last in this race will start on pole.
Right.
But Tyler's got enough experience to know how to, if somebody deliberately tanks it and Tyler recognizes it, he will not let that fly, and he'll send them to the back for the feature. But as long as people are genuinely racing, or if their crashes are, real, then we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. So this is going to be a 10-lap race once we're done with this warm-up lap.
So while we're doing the warm-up lap, Eric, what are your plans for next year? What are you going to be doing?
Season 10 with Jeff Mosing. So it's been a hell of a run. Looking forward to it. It is going to be our final season, but not to remind you, Ryan, we're all getting older, but it's by the end of next year I'll be 50, so we'll see how it goes after that.
What?
That's not possible.
Crazy. But yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
The problem is, if you're getting close to 50, that means I'm getting closer to 50. That means Ryan's getting closer to 40. That's not possible.
Yep. You and Jeff have been just having some awesome races. Are you going to continue in Mercedes?
Yeah, same program this coming season. So we'll have 3 cars with the team, and a couple of shakeups and some driver lineup stuff in a couple of the other cars, or one of the other cars. So that should be fun and exciting. And yeah, we'll just see how it all pans out. But obviously had a pretty good season last year. Was really fortunate to have some great teammates come in and sub for Jeff, one being Mark Miller. So I was really sad he couldn't make it tonight, because it would have been a lot of fun to have him on here also and give him a hard time. That's why I wore my Michigan shirt. But
nice. All right, last corner. We're about to go green here. And we have one sprint car up towards the front, and then a sea of MX-5s. Looks like Carl Edward in that awesome split pig livery is going to take the start with Tyler Kittle, who's technically our pole sitter. Carl Edward, obviously, much quicker car.
Yeah, much cleaner start this time. Carl Edward, not of relation, big time into turn 1 there. I'm not even sure if he made the exit because he was so hot into the corner, but the MX-5s are right there with him, still within a second. So we'll see what happens here, but I'm not sure it's going to be as hard for him as it was for John Cantu to have to go through the field. And that Continental Pig car looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this car. Now, this is a 10-lap race, and again, it's going to be, Derek Suter. Now, for example,
Duff Beer.
The Duff Beer car going around. Now, if Derek ends up retiring because he's wrecked so bad, and that means he would start first during the race, and that would be okay because that's a legit crash.
Yeah.
Or he's really good at it. He's the Nelson Piquet Jr. of bad crashes intentionally. And, Dustin Besch going around.
What is happening here?
Now I feel like it is deliberate.
Okay, we picked the MX-5. We picked the MX-5 because it's stable. It's the exact opposite of a sprint car. And the sprint car guys are doing a good job. The MX-5's like six crashes in the downhill there. What the hell?
That is amazing. God bless him. All right, Lance Snyder going around there in P7. Carl Edward is now walking away. Look at Lance really struggling going into 1 as our cameras jump around looking for the action here. Alan Space, a long-time blunderer, looking like he's doing everything he can to wreck. And Mark Kopp in P3, he's got one more MX-5 to go, and then he'll be in the clear to just sort of run his own race.
I was going to say, I think Allen's coming off a big win not too long ago. Isn't that right?
That is true. He won. He won at our first round this year.
Yep. Good to see.
Obviously, very different nature of racing.
Yeah, long-time supporter of our show, and love to see him at the racetrack and stuff. So good to see him doing well. But currently, he's going to have to find some pace here. He's running about P11, about 20 seconds off the lead. So we'll see what happens.
And of course, this is world famous William Boos. And William is, I don't know how much seat time he's got because he's definitely struggling against the Mazdas. And there he goes.
Go, God.
William! Man, he almost crashed Todd Eldridge. Todd's having a rough day.
If you're associated with anything related to drinking right now, you're not doing so hot. We had the Duff beer car on the wall, and then William Booze, his last name is Booze, just threw it off on the front straight. So don't drink and drive, kids.
I thought you were going to make a reference to Boones, but we won't tell that story.
It's not fair. Clay's not here to defend himself.
All right, we're looking at Eric. Oh, by the way, just because I have to point out Twitter being Twitter, you mentioned the no-name straight, which Eric Ronenberg just went through there, which is the sort of the space going towards the uphill outside of turn 3, which isn't really a straight. We got a tweet, an anticipatory tweet reminding us that it is no longer the no-name straight, but the Newman straight.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and there was a tweet that specifically saw that coming and got on top of it.
No, good to hear.
Yeah,
good to hear.
so there
Our
you go.
social media team is killing it tonight. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's not what it's called anymore. I saw a Reddit thread. Okay, a little off topic, but I saw a Reddit thread the other day about the Civic Type R that just came out, and I did the driving, so I wanted to read the article to see if they smeared me or not. They didn't. They were great. But the comments on the bottom of it, and I'm not making this up, they were arguing that it's not called Sonoma Raceway. It's called
Infineon?
Infineon,
which is like a 15-year-old name.
Not Sears Point. Like the boomer thing would be to call it. No, it's
Sears Point, which is of course what it should be, Ryan.
Yeah, but the guy literally was arguing. He was like, "It's Infineon. Everyone knows that." I was like, "Wait, what?"
No, it's not, because he did Gran Turismo in PlayStation 2 days. You know.
Yeah.
All right. So we got now 3 sprint cars that have made their way into the top 3, past all the MX-5s. Mark Kruger, P4, and Lance Snyder making his way into the top 5. Now, again, everybody here is going to advance. This is just to have some fun racing. Mark Kruger now wrecking. And, Miles Gilsinger. You've got some relation there, Ryan.
Oh, yeah, Lil Slinger. That's Chad Gilsinger's son, who I've raced with for a long time. And Miles, no longer working at Honda. He's moved on to other adventures, but he's still part of the Hart program. He's just one of those great kids that's come up in the sport. His dad's awesome, and cool to see little Slinger out here getting it done.
And, of course, his dad, Chad Gilsinger, who you mentioned, was your teammate forever in the Hart racing program. Chad, a full-time engineer for American Honda out there in Ohio.
Yeah, and always cool. Those guys are always like, you can put the DWR stuff on the car, go for it. So it's nice that we were able to put big DWR stickers on the NSX and TCR cars, which I know the fans like. So. All
right, another one of our DWR loyals, Michael Rennick, who's been a big part of our deal. He's got a big old Motor Trend sticker on the side. We like to see that, as well as some Acura stuff.
Yeah, and, I think Steve Lubender's got a Motor Trend wing on his sprint car.
Yeah, it looks like he's got something interesting going on, so we'll wait till the race to take a look. But I know Lubender's got to have something interesting, because I saw there was definitely something at play. We didn't get a chance to look close enough, but I definitely want to look at that when we get there. So anyway, we're looking at Tyler Kittle, who's had a pretty good run. He's now P6, third among the Mazdas. And Carl Edward now with what should be, I think, 3 laps remaining. And just making his way. He's just got to set his own pace, and he'll be primed to start right there in the middle for the feature.
You know, Eric, I want to give you some love, because you actually tried to get me in that Mercedes this year in GT4. And I had my part-time TCR program with LA Honda World. And, of course, you guys go on and, like, win a bunch of races. And I was like, damn it!
Yeah, you know, he missed out. Well, Mark Miller, you know, he couldn't make the first one.
Yeah.
And so that's why we put Kenton in there. And as soon as it all happened, he's like, oh, I should have done every one of them. I'm so pissed. He goes, next year, I'm in, no matter what. I don't care.
Yeah. Get in line, buddy. Yeah.
All right. Longtime contributor Lance Snyder. Always got something fun to say. P8. He's one of only a few sprint cars that still hasn't gotten past the Mazda contingent. He's now looks like he's chasing down Alan Space, who won last round, as you recall.
Yeah,
And
I think Alan's car looks like a Continental. It looks like the show car livery that used to be on that Shank DP that was just a show car.
Oh, right, the El Continental DP. It might be.
Yeah,
it looks nice.
I think so. Yeah, we'll take a look at it in the main. But yeah, giving old Lance Snyder a little bit of the business there, so that's good to see. I got to keep him honest.
Derek Suter, who's pretty new to the deal, but I'm a big fan of that Duff beer car. How could you not be?
That thing's awesome.
And
so Eric,
go ahead.
Eric, you're a big iRacer. What livery do you normally run on stuff?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I mean, usually I only run stuff when I'm doing the Dinner with Racers show. I mean, my last livery was Turner. But,
oh, that's right. Yeah.
You want to get into it?
Do you want to talk about it?
Yes, we do. We've only got a lap, but go ahead.
Well,
one lap
we
version.
can wait for the main. We can wait for the main for that one. Yeah. Eric, let me ask you a question about tacos.
This is relevant.
Now, I know you don't eat like crappy food now, but you used to eat just like I used to eat. Would you put cheese on your tacos?
Of course.
Yeah. Right. Oh, big one in the downhill.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
All right.
I still eat cheese.
Well,
and so anytime I have tacos, I have cheese on my tacos.
As you should. Now we're just about to get to the final lap. Now I think we can say it now because they're slated to go out now. There might be some podcasts releasing literally right now.
Right now. You hear that, folks?
And one of those might be an IndyCar or Champ Car driver by the name of Mario Dominguez, and we might have had that meal with him in what country, Ryan?
That'd be Mexico. We went to Mexico for DWR. We went to Mexico.
And what did we eat?
We ate tacos with cheese like 5 times.
We had lots of tacos with cheese in Mexico City. And so if you're going to trust our experience in Mexico City or Will Turner in Massachusetts, and by the way, it's really New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's New Hampshire. So settle down.
Eric, whose opinions on how a real taco should be? The experience in Mexico City or Will Turner in New Hampshire?
Were they chicken tacos?
Mine were.
No.
On top of the sandwich. Go ahead.
Mine were. Yeah.
Carl Edwards
chorizo
about to take the
tacos.
win, by the way.
Are you saying chorizo tacos?
Yeah, I would think tacos in Mexico City would probably be the obvious choice. That would be my final answer.
So if they have cheese on them, is it possible that maybe Will Turner does not have the taco expertise he thinks he does?
He doesn't eat tacos with cheese?
He claims that not only does he not have them with cheese, but it's not authentic.
Interesting.
Yeah, which again, we were just in Mexico City.
In Mexico City for podcasts.
And they
the
all
Mario
had cheese
Dominguez. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're like, cheese, yeah, here you go.
Yeah, not a thing.
Yep.
Yeah, the cojita cheese.
It was cheese in Mexico. I don't know. It's called queso.
It was muy delicioso. I think is actually Spanish.
I mean, I live in Fort Worth, Texas, and there are a lot of Mexican food trucks here.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, they all have cojita cheese on their tacos.
It's fine. Says I in Los Angeles. It's fine.
Yeah. So if you listen to some podcasts that might have just come out called Dinner with Racers, you might hear a few mentions of tacos with cheese.
All right. We're going to take a quick break.
Turner.
Congratulations to Carl Edward for winning the LCQ. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with a feature. 25 laps, maybe some cautions. We'll see who takes the win.
Home. What is a home? A home isn't just a place to leave your things, to house your stuff, to simply exist within 4 walls. A home is built on an ideal, built in common values, where what starts as a community grows into a family. A home is where you laugh, you love, you cry, you even learn. A home is where you don't just exist, but you belong. We're home.
Except for one episode. All right, that was an ad for our new Motor Trend series that you saw, which is our old series, but also new. We had a 3rd season coming out over the summer, maybe a 4th season coming out really, really soon, and some podcasts coming out right now, Ryan. There are podcasts out right now for your holiday travels.
Yeah, we literally just launched. Should we go ahead? Oh, all right. The fans are paying attention. Yeah, that's right. Bobby Rahal.
Yes.
Bobby
I'm sorry,
Rahal.
who, Ryan? That's Bobby to the fans.
That's Bob Rahal if you're in with Bob Rahal.
Hey, Eric Foss.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to call him Bobby Rahal? Or Bob Rahal? Can you call him Bob Rahal? I don't think you
I've never
can.
met him.
You know who can call him?
No, you can't.
You can't. We can. We can call him Bob Rahal.
These guys. Hey, Bob. How you doing, Bob?
Yeah, because I'm sure he's definitely watching. If there's one thing I know, it's that he's got nothing better to do.
He's a big fan of our show. He really faked that he knew what we were.
All right, so here we go. Inverted field. We got about half a lap to go on this yellow. 25 laps. Got quite a few sprint cars starting from up front here, despite the fact it's an inverted field. So it should be pretty chaotic.
Right.
Jason Skeen and Brian Stilley and then Todd Eldridge are going to lead the field here. Yeah, I'm excited. I think we'll just crank it up for the start. What do you think?
Yeah. Let's just send it in there. Good luck, Todd Eldridge. It was pretty ugly in the last one. Glad to see you recover.
This is the feature. Enjoy the sounds of turn 1. Why is the Mazda the problem?
This is way cleaner than I thought.
Yeah, not. Oh, here we go. There we go. Look at all the sprint cars taking the shortcut. Look at John Cantu. Here we go.
John Cantu's going for it
with the Eric Foss front end. Oh, John pulled it off.
Huge.
Man, John just made huge gains.
Yeah, John Cantu just picked up like 12 spots by doing the cut through. Now, if I'm an MX-5 driver and I'm listening to this.
Oh, God. That's not where you want to lose it.
Yeah. Horrible place to get turned around.
What straight is that?
I don't want to get another.
Yeah, about to say, it's what you would call the no-name straight.
Yeah, you idiot.
But according to Twitter, it's the Newman straight, apparently.
Good times. Whoa, that was a big move in the downhill. We got a lot of tire smoke there.
Yeah, I don't even know who to call where at this point. But John Cantu already up to P2.
Yeah, John Cantu was super strong last night and really figured it out.
We have like 15 cars off on the front straightaway.
Oh my
God. Is it restart?
I don't know.
Is that a yellow?
That is up to our boy Tyler if he thinks it's worth a yellow or not. I think a reset might be fun, but I don't know if we have time. That's totally Tyler's call.
Yeah, it looked like a handful of cars trying to do the cut through there. The sprint cars.
We just had sprint cars wrecking in the shortcut.
Yeah. Now, cars on track have the right of way, so if you get drilled coming back through on the shortcut, that's on you.
Did we give a drive-through, or how are we going to police that?
So I don't know if this is going to sound. It's a crazy idea, Eric. We have a rule here at Thursday Night Blunder. If we can't enforce it so that it's consistent, we don't enforce it.
Oh,
does that?
That's a novel idea.
I know you're not used to this kind of idea. So Tyler, our admin, and Ryan and I and Lee all decided, yes, you can shortcut. There is risk.
Yeah.
It's easy to lose there, but we can't catch them all, so we're just not going to bother.
Yeah, and we noticed that
I believe the admin has called a full course caution.
Oh, we are yellow.
Full course.
Because, of course, safety is paramount here.
Man, John Cantu did not want to see that.
He did not. This is just going to make it that much worse because look at all those sprint cars that have made their way to the front.
Now, big shout out to Amanda Skeen's husband, Jason, who is running P2 first of the MX-5s. And honestly, I'd say, I know this is all one class, but he's best of the rest right now because John Cantu, as we saw in the heat race and just now, is really on his own out there flying. But hats off to Jason Skeen, who's a huge contributor to our social media campaign for no reason whatsoever.
Absolutely. Amanda Skeen, most patient woman in the world, as we have declared repeatedly. And we'll see how this goes. So is anybody a lap down? I don't think we would at this
We've
point.
got 3 cars a lap down.
Well, should we take a look at them? All right. So, Eric, we have a policy here. We give wave arounds to those who have good paint jobs.
Yep.
If they don't have paint jobs that we like, that are related to us, or that we find cool, then we send them around. So we'll start with Derek Suter. Derek Suter's in that Duff Beer Mazda MX-5. I'd say he can go because we've been talking about this all day.
Yeah, let's let him go.
All right, 35 Derek Suter gets a wave around. Look at that side of that Duff car right there. 35 Derek Suter's getting a wave around. Let him go. Let's give this guy a chance. So that's pretty cool. Mark Kruger there, running Finger Lakes SCCA region. That's, I don't know. That's not, Finger Lakes are not where Lime Rock is. What do you think, Eric? Yay or nay?
No, I'm out. I think that's a nay.
Nay.
Yeah,
Mark
he's
Kruger
outta here.
stays a lap down.
Yep.
Sorry, Mark.
Who's the third driver you think is a lap down, Tyler?
Sorry, I've got 6 now. John Tanner, Zach Laferge, Miles Gilsinger, Matthew Strugman.
All right, 34 of John Trainer is the first that I see that's a lap down. Oh, he's in P34. I don't know his number there. Number 28.
28.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, he's not getting a lap up. That car is not custom at all. So John Trainer is not getting a lap back. You guys agree?
I'd give him one.
You want to give him one because he's new?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you why later.
Okay, well, John Trainer, I didn't get his number. He gets a wave by Mark Kaufman, the 26.
Nah,
sorry, no for Mark. Not happening.
You're gonna have to drive your way up there, buddy.
All right, we'll take another quick look here just in case. No, there's nothing there. And let's see who's next. That's Daniela Talbert, who's a lap down. Now, that is a Sarah Fisher tribute. And if you look closely, Mead was Sarah's, the paper company was Sarah's sponsor. And Mead in Germany, where she lives, is a Christmas market.
Oh, cool.
So it says,
Right
and
on.
then it says something about books. I don't know. But anyway, that is a Sarah Fisher tribute. So she gets a wave around.
Yep.
Daniela Talbert in the 32. Oh, in the 4. Daniela Talbert in the 4 gets a wave around.
You need to know these things.
I think Daniela was already on the lead lap.
Okay, well then,
She gets
let's
a
put her a
lap
lap
on
up.
the All right. Is that
everybody?
all of them?
Miles Gilsinger, I think, is the last car that we haven't addressed.
Okay.
Let's
Thank
take
you.
a look at his livery if we get a chance. But Miles Gilsinger, his dad is called the Gunslinger, and
That is all fire. Is that fire? I don't know. What do you? I leave it to you guys.
is this a "This Is Fine" meme car?
Let's see. It is.
Yeah.
All right. So the 38 of Miles Gilsinger gets a wave around if he is in fact a lap down.
Yeah, but little Slinger, where the hell's the Continental stickers?
Why
Why
is
don't
Steve-
you have Honda Acura stuff all over
And
this?
why
Your
is
dad,
Steve-
You work there.
Is Steve Lubender out of the race? He's 4
So
laps down.
Steve Lubender wrote, his crew chief radioed in that his internet went out on the grid.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, I don't know how to.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll. So that's it for the wave around. So when the green happens, the green happens. I am sure. Right, Tyler? I'm sure there'll be another yellow later, but it'll be in an appropriate time for a really exciting restart, I'm guessing, which will be...
Of course.
I don't think we'll have any say in that, Ryan. I think maybe Tyler will see danger as he sees appropriate.
Sure.
I'm saying Tyler will, for safety, see the appropriate
safety.
time to go yellow for safety. You agree, Eric?
Totally.
Okay.
Totally.
Sure. What he said.
All about safety.
That is why we run the races.
That's why we run the races.
I thought it was safety third, Ryan.
For the hell. All right.
Speaking of
So
safety,
far-
I would like to point out that we have an upcoming podcast, the first one of the new run. Chris Willis, famous Nissan GTP engineer. You've worked with him at Real Time. I don't think you've worked with him, Eric. He admitted to us that safety is not first as in engineering.
Yeah, have you ever looked at the old Nissan GTP?
You have?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Eric, you coach a guy that runs a bunch of vintage cars and Porsche current stuff. And he has, how many of those Nissan GTP cars does he have? Just the one?
He actually only has one, but I did get a seat fitting for it, and he kind of was chuckling. He goes, "You don't look super excited," and I was like, "No, I watched these things try to kill people at Road Atlanta back in the day."
And I'm going to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but Steve Luvender is back on.
All right.
And, what do we got here? Ask Siri, please go to Motor Trend YouTube page, Dinner with Racers. Oh, that is how to find us on the YouTube page. That is to ask Siri to go to Google, to go to YouTube, to find the Motor Trend Dinner with Racers. That's how you watch our show.
That's a damn good livery.
Eric Foss,
AOL
driver
keyword
coach.
Dinner with Racers. Eric Foss, driver coach.
God bless you, Steve Luvender.
I can't tell what the bottom says. It says
Dogpile.
dogpile.
Dogpile Acura.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Sure.
Are we going green?
We are going.
We are going green. We are going
All
green.
right.
And Jason Skeen somehow leading. Oh, I think he's just next in line over John Cantu. So we'll see. Back into turn one. See how this goes.
You know what to do. You know what to do, guys. Don't let those sprint cars get away with it. Green, green, green. Cantu defensive on the inside. It's going to affect his line as he comes in here. Getting some pressures.
Oh!
Oh!
Is that Skeen?
I don't think so.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Wow. This was worse than the start.
Oh, is that a track blockage?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But I think we're staying green, right?
We're staying green. It's the big one at Lime Rock.
Oh, yeah, this is the one we've been waiting for.
Yep.
Wow, that was exciting.
Man, that's, again, we picked the MX-5s because they're stable. Look at this pass and repass there we had taking place.
Only 2 MX-5s in the top 20 right now, just so you know.
Yeah, Dustin Besh doing his best.
Now that looked like the 21 was going by one of the MX-5s there. You can tell the difference in the cornering speed. The MX-5s are just so much better through the high corners because the sprint cars are on 3 wheels. Using all the road on entry there, so you see him immediately get up on the inside, curbing in the right side tires, which is not ideal.
All right, we are 8 laps into this 25-lap feature. First lap of the restart. We'll probably, and we have some people using that shortcut. Travis Wall, who did it very effectively last night. He's got that pretty well figured out, and that's a huge jump now. So we now have 11 sprint cars up front past the Mazdas. Dustin Besh in that black, purple, and blue one you see there in the back is the leader of that front.
Who is it that used it just now?
That was Travis Wall in the old Piggly Wiggly Continental car.
Yeah. Yeah, now, last night, Stephen Moore was, like, really, really quick, and he's running E5 right now, so I'm curious to see if he picks it up, figures out whatever John Cantu's had going on. But currently, John Cantu out to about an 8.5-second lead as we see the 77 doing the shortcut. Jacob Campbell.
No,
is that Jacob Campbell?
That is Jacob Campbell, and he used this very technique to take the win in last night's practice race. So Jacob Campbell is definitely an expert. He knows his way around this deal. So if I was John Cantu, now he's got a 9-second lead. So if I was John, I better be hoping there are no yellow flags because Jacob Campbell with 9 seconds back is not to be messed with. And then Jeff Gross here in one of our favorite liveries. Jeff Gross is P15. He is the other Level 5 Motorsports sprint car.
Yeah, I think he got out on the grass on accident and just said, screw it, straighten the wheel and went for it, and it worked out. So I guess if that's one of those things, if you get off there, just fine, go straight. But the MX-5s we see having a hard time just driving by themselves as one of them just spun out.
Cantu's around.
Uh-oh, John Cantu, is he spinning? Is that what we're hearing?
I'm getting race report that Cantu's having some trouble.
Not sure if we'll be able to see. There's John. Yeah, he spun.
Yeah, his lead's diminished
There's a replay
down
coming
out.
in a few seconds.
There's a replay coming. You'll hear the sounds of our director there. Here we go. Let's see what happened to John. And just
he took himself.
But he took the shortcut.
Yeah. Comes back on.
Oh, and he wrecked Daniela Talbert.
Man.
And those two are teammates in endurance racing.
That makes sense.
So that's not going to go well.
Yeah, no, and again, it's the re-entering car's responsibility to make a safe, clean re-entry there. So we don't have black flags planned out for using the shortcut, but for an unsafe re-entry, if Eric Foss deems, we might have to figure something out.
Ooh, I get to do my best Bo Barfield?
You can absolutely do your best Bo Barfield or your worst.
Yeah. We see Jacob Campbell. I really dig. He's got the Honda wing on the front. He's got an SI logo on the side of it, which is pretty cool.
He
But
does.
these guys are 4 wide here on this little middle straightaway, which is now has a name apparently.
And if you look at the side of the wing there on Jacob, it said "Sorry Dane."
Oh,
which is a new theme for our podcast. And then there's a dog on the front, which they have a second dog now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which we learned in the later races last race. Todd Eldridge, P21, 6-time U.S. national figure skating champion and a world champion.
Yeah, several-time Olympian and former DWR guest.
And Dustin Besh, who's new to our series. What was that? I'm sorry, Eric?
Oh, I was going to say, if we gave that penalty, it'd just be like a drive-through, right? I think that could be pretty entertaining.
Do you want to do
it? Cantu's going to walk away with it if we don't do something,
Do you want to do a drive-through for unsafe re-entry?
I think that is, that's what the race director called for. And based on who he hit, I think it's,
Yeah, that is.
Got to happen.
Okay. Well, you know what to do there, Tyler. We have an unsafe re-entry.
For John Cantu. As we have a sprint car just upside down on the outside of turn 1. Just sitting there.
and
He's got help.
Alan's trying to help him out there. I don't know who that is. Is that Patrick Lindsay from Trading Paints fame?
Wow, Alan Space being a bro here, trying to tip it back over. You got to use the other side. You got to hit the wing.
You got to get to the top side. Poor Alan. He's doing his best. Here we go. Oh, he's got it. He's going to try.
Oh,
no.
Meanwhile, we have a huge crash in the uphill again. What I loved about the replay as an MX-5 is trying to flip over a sprint car is that in the background and the foreground, people were driving past them to shortcut the track, both MX-5s and sprint cars. So
absolutely.
Exactly what we look for at Thursday Night Blunder.
All right, so we are watching Ben Cox and Jared Wakefield, both experienced DWR members. Jared in his sophomore season of what we do here. And got that KMD on the front of the car. We got a 3-way battle there as they try to lap Todd Eldridge. And Ben Cox doing his best to wreck. Travis Wall, who was P2 last night, and getting the business from Ben Cox. Man, it's anybody's guess at this point.
Yeah, no, this is getting a little hairy here, but again, exactly what we're looking for. Now, once again, guys, if you're listening in and you're in the YouTube chat, feel free to fire up any questions you have for Eric Foss, for Sean, or myself. We did just announce a few minutes ago that a handful of new podcasts just went out with a couple notable engineers, drivers, and commentators, so definitely want to check that out.
John Cantu is serving his drive-through penalty.
And John Cantu getting his penalty. He is going in. See, now the mistake John made was that he had an unsafe re-entry, and we saw it.
Right. It's not about the penalty, it's about getting caught.
It's about getting caught.
So Steve Lubender is asking if Eric's going to share a good Eversley story.
If I'm going to share a good Eversley story?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do that to you.
I appreciate you so much right now.
Man.
Yep.
Well, these people, they seem to have the shortcut pretty well figured out. We haven't seen a lot of people miss it.
Yeah, I think last night people were just too aggressive on the throttle, so they were spinning out. But now it's like they figured out the right way through there.
Oh, John is out of the pits. John is P6, so he didn't lose a ton, especially with the yellow. He's got Jacob Campbell right behind him. This is actually
a battle here in the grass.
These two are kind of the hot shoes of this series in these cars, so they're going to be interesting to watch as they go through here. Jacob won last night. John has been incredibly fast in these cars, so yeah, they're almost 30 seconds back. But let's say we have another yellow. Just not sure if we do, but if it were to happen,
we've got another yellow actually, Sean. Just as you said that,
yes,
there happened to be another yellow.
Well, we'll see what happens. Now, Tyler, what was it for?
There was too much grass on the track.
That makes sense. Safety first.
Yeah, somebody pointed out that on Thursday Night Thunder, the only way that you're bad is if you get caught being bad.
Yep.
So, yeah, I like that. Hey, here's a question for Eric. What was your first car?
A 75 Opel Mana.
Nice.
Most people have no idea what that is.
That's not a thing.
No.
I
it was not sexy.
Did you know Opels were still in existence in Germany?
Yeah. So another question for you, Eric. Why do you have a green screen behind you, and can people put fun things in the background there? Yes,
for sure.
I'll answer the second part. You answer the first part.
All right, we're going to go full screen. This is your chance. If you got them screen captures, we're going to go full screen on Eric. And we're looking at Eric talk for a second.
Yep.
There
I'm ready.
we go.
Bring it
Okay.
on.
All right, this is your chance. Screen grab it. Let's make some motion. Do a dance. Monkey, dance.
Go.
Dance.
You go.
Do something.
Go.
You're
I'm
in a chair.
Dancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you?
Just give me a background. I don't care.
Yeah. And please, if you come up with something, add it to our Twitter. Add it to Twitter or Instagram stories, and we'll repost it. We'll tag Eric and stuff. But yeah, feel free to take advantage of him having a green screen for a background. Why do you have a green screen in your background?
Because I was trying to get home earlier. I was going to set it up proper, and needless to say, it was a thrash just to get in front of the screen in any moment.
So you were actually going to have a background?
Yeah.
What were you going to use?
I don't know.
I
Probably.
think we're ready to do some wave bys here, Sean.
All right, we'll do some wave bys.
I'm going to need you to tell me which cars, I'm afraid, Tyler.
Copy. Jeremy Lyons first, 333.
All right, so we will cut to Jeremy Lyons. And again, we've got a, oh, God, under yellow.
I think that was Alan Space spinning out.
We'll see here. But anyway, so once we get to Jeremy Lyons, we're going to have to make we got about 5 seconds per car. We've got 7 laps, so we're going to have to race right through this. Jeremy Lyons, not a whole lot going on. What do you guys think?
Nah.
All right, sorry, Jeremy Lyons does not advance.
Next one, sir.
William Booz.
William Booz, I can already tell you William Booz will probably advance. He had a really nice livery there.
Yeah, he's got that picture of us on the roof.
So William Booz in the 12 will get a wave around. No, William Booz in the 12 will get a wave around.
Got that NNF sticker on the front, and I love you for that. That's so cool.
Lance Snyder in the 27.
Oh,
Me,
yeah.
that's a yes. Okay, Lance Snyder in the 27 does get a wave around. Wave around for Lance Snyder in the 27. Oh, he had an Eric Foss Racing.
Eric
camera.
Ronenberg.
Eric Ronenberg. Sadly, that's a pretty default livery. Appreciate his new participation, but he will not get a wave around. Correct, guys?
He's going to have to drive his way up there.
Yeah, he's going to have to fight. Dustin Besh. Same deal. Again, Dustin, new to our series. I'm going no. You?
Oh, actually, look.
He's the lead MX-5. I think you got to give him one for that.
All right, Dustin Besh.
Yeah.
And I didn't see what the number was. Dustin Besh will get a wave
Got
around.
Davis Trask.
Davis Trask in the 77 is absolutely getting a wave around. Yes.
Yeah.
What about John Trainer in the 28?
John Trainer.
He got one already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll give him one more.
John Trainer in the 28. Yes.
It's the number.
John Trainer in the 28 does get a wave around.
Yeah, his team's been tweeting about this on social media, so they're in for that.
Austin Tucker in the 20.
No.
Out.
Buddy.
Even worse. No, we can't do no. And we can't even say why, but the answer is no. Carl Edward, Justin Parcher in the 55.
Justin Parcher's next, yep.
Justin Parcher in the 55 is absolutely getting a wave around.
Yeah.
There's no way. I actually really like the silver on there. He did a good job.
Yeah, it
with the
looks
reflective.
good. Yeah.
Good job, Justin.
Carl Edward.
Carl Edward is absolutely getting a wave around in the 29. Carl Edward in the 29 gets a wave around.
Miles Gilsinger is the last car 1 lap down.
Copy. And that was a yes, right? Yep. With that.
Yeah. He's an I'm fine car.
Miles Gilsinger in the I'm fine Flames.
This is
38.
fine. I'm fine.
Whatever it is. Yeah. Everything is fine. Is that what it is?
I think this is fine.
This is fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, 38, Miles Gilsinger, all good. Oh, wow, we have more wrecks on wave rounds. Well done. This is exciting.
Eric, favorite racing memory from Andrew Barca?
Favorite racing memory? There's so many, but I mean, not to be kissing your ass too much, but doing the 24-hour with you in 2013 was a ton of fun, Ryan. And
you mean where you podiumed?
That's right.
Yeah, we were the last car running and we podiumed.
You podium. What are you doing? I'm helping you.
Yeah. No, I mean, we were fighting for the win pretty much. I mean, we were outgunned by the car, but I think we were operating at a very high level, and we had 2 awesome gentleman drivers. You know, we had Lee and Jeff Mosing, who were both just killing it in that car. So that was really great. And then John Teesey did a good job too. So yeah, that was a fun memory for me too, especially being on the podium with you.
Yeah, agreed.
That was in the very short-lived GTX category. Which
that was the category.
It was like I got in trouble because we made a video, and I left it in, and then IMSA made me take it, or whoever was running the series, made me take it out, because literally there's a line from Eric Foss who's like, the GTX class is a class they made for Mazda.
Yeah.
They're like, you can't say that. I'm like, but it is. It's like, he's not.
But why not? Yeah. It's exactly what it is, and then we beat the crap out of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like they all came in classes, it turned out.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Eric, what's your best rental car story from Sean Gillespie?
Oh my gosh. So Mark Miller and I.
Lights are out, by the way, so we got about a half a lap to go.
Let's just say we ended up hydrolocking a rental car by driving through a big puddle in College Station. We didn't make it out, but some people randomly pulled up to push us out of it. So it was great.
There you go.
Sorry to interrupt. We are about to go green here with 5 to go.
Yes, sir. So on our video feed, the Porsche safety car is just at the top of the hill, headed back down, and we will have 13 sprint cars all nose to tail, so I'm expecting a pretty bonsai start. And John Cantu, P7, Jacob Campbell, P6, those two have been the class of the field, so they will be exciting to watch here with, what, 4 laps to go?
Should be 5.
5 laps to go.
Yeah, pace car is in. Short front straightaway here, so we'll see what happens down in turn 1. Stephen Moore was really fast last night as we take the green here.
I like the MX-5 that jumped the restart there.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, do it.
We have,
God.
I don't know what that looks like. Danielle Talbot wrecking in the back. Oh, gosh.
Oh, we got a spin here for the top.
That?
Man.
I don't know, but Tyler Tucker got through. Now we see all kinds of cars taking the escape route.
Yeah, and then MX-5 going for it. Yes! Yes!
Again, our rule is if we can't enforce it, we don't.
Yeah.
And Jared Wakefield is the guy that survives it all. So Jared Wakefield leading, Stephen Moore, who was exceptionally good last night, John Cantu up to P4, Travis Wall, P3. This will be a very good last few laps because if I'm reading the field correctly, they'll start lapping cars in the final lap or two.
I think they're about to start lapping cars.
Wow. Yeah, question for Eric. It was does anybody else in your family race?
My dad raced when I was little, and then I've got my brother to do one race with me in WRL, and we're planning on doing at least 3 or 4 next year. So
this is
technically at this point, yes, he will be.
This is the battle for the lead. We were watching until we saw the chaos, but Jared Wakefield and Stephen Moore there. I think it's going to be a race to watch all the way to the end here with 3 laps to go. I wouldn't change a thing from those two. Stephen Moore and Jared Wakefield have been nose to tail. John Cantu is catching up, so we'll take a look and see where they're at. Here we go. This is the battle for the lead. Jared Wakefield in a sophomore season, Stephen Moore, an experienced DWR alum, and there's John Cantu, P3. This is going to be an exciting last 3 laps here.
Yeah, they're actually having a race here, which I don't know how we always manage to have this happen.
Oh, good God.
We come up with the dumbest concepts, and then it turns into a real battle.
And they're all taking the
As
shortcut.
they cut through the grass.
They're all doing it at this point.
Yep.
I think you have to at this point because one of them is going to make it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
gosh.
Stephen Moore trying to do a double cut.
Did it work?
Oh, but no,
Can
I
he
don't
get back
think
on the
so.
track? Well, no, it didn't help him though. The
I
re-entry
think-
was so bad. Oh no, John Cantu!
Oh, Cantu!
He made it, I think. Well, he's not completely through. Oh gosh! Oh, John's. Oh,
he's
God.
fighting it. He's fighting it.
But this is
Oh, he
helping.
lost.
Still crashing.
Jared Wakefield used all that to take a huge lead. So Jared Wakefield now up 2 seconds over Stephen Moore. We'll see if John and Stephen can catch up ground. But there's
Stephen Moore
still.
was able to, yeah.
Go ahead.
Stephen Moore was able to get by John Cantu in that whole thing, and Stephen Moore did the double cut. When he got on the grass in the back straight, it really screwed him up. So, man, he got lucky there with John Cantu getting crossed up with that MX-5.
Meanwhile, they are catching up quickly. Jared Wakefield now losing his lead real quick. There they all go.
Oh, they're all crossed up in the grass.
2 laps to go. Traffic everywhere.
Oh, we got an upside down MX-5 in the back straight. Just sitting there like a turtle on a shell.
I don't even know how to call this or who to call. It's going to be
this is
exciting.
This is a battle right here. We're coming to it, right?
This will be the white flag next time around.
Yeah. They've got MX-5 traffic and into the downhill. It's the worst place to get it. Looks like
John
Cantu's
got the
gonna
wrong side of
Oh!
it.
Yeah, and he turned the MX-5 too.
But he's still in it. John is still in it. This will be the
Okay,
white flag.
So, I think Stephen Moore's got the lead here. Stephen, again, very fast last night. He's got a great livery on that car. He's got our seasonal holiday release artwork up on the thing as they take the cut through one last time. And they've got traffic on the cut through.
Oh, gosh.
Barely making it through. We still have cars stopped on the back straight. Oh, he barely
Oh no, it's Steven's out! And John Cantu got through it! John Cantu is through! Cantu is through!
What happened?
John Cantu's just got to be clean. He's got a 4.5-second lead over Travis Wall. He went from wrecking on a re-entry to getting a drive-through to falling back to P3, tangling with traffic, and with a half lap to go, finds himself 5 seconds ahead.
Nice clean run through the downhill, no pressure from behind. He comes to take the checkered. He's getting run to the line, actually, and he wins it.
He takes
by
it.
spinning across the line.
I think that's his first broadcast win.
Wow.
John
Still crashing.
Cantu.
Hit him.
John Cantu is the man tonight with an incredible win. Jeff Gross there finishing P4. Looks like Ben Cox will take P5. Well, this is what we signed up for. Well done, John Cantu. That's impressive.
How does this keep happening?
That was awesome.
We keep coming up with dumb ideas and they turn into really good races at the end. I don't get it.
Well, this is why we run the races. By the way, we do have an amazing team of testers here. Guys like Ben Cox and John Cantu and Tyler, who really go a long way to run some test races when no one's looking on the weekends to do exactly this.
Yeah. Eric, we have a fan question for you. What's your favorite racetrack?
My favorite racetrack is, it kind of cycles between Moseport, Watkins Glen, VIR, Road Atlanta, but VIR's got to be my favorite, for sure.
Yeah, I love VIR too. It's our traditional DWR Thursday Night Blunder race ending ceremony when everybody crashes until they get reset or stuck is continuing to go pretty well.
Oh, that's a new spot. Well, that was exciting.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Is there a replay possible for that that whole thing coming through the cut through?
We can certainly try.
Fantastic. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
It'll take a few seconds to queue up, but in the meantime, yep.
Yeah. John Cantu coming home the winner, foregoing that drive-through penalty for an unsafe re-entry, as well as just a handful of mistakes there at the end, but it all worked out. Travis Wall coming home right behind him, and then Jarek Wayfield, Jeff Gross, and Benjamin Cox rounding out the top 5.
Interesting. David Lindhagen, P7. Clay Kirchenbauer, who's new to our series, P8, so pretty good introduction. Tyler Tucker, then amazing level 5 livery. Top Mazda, P10, Justin Parcher. A real big contributor to our series. The only Mazda to finish on the lead lap, by the way.
Yeah, 58 seconds back, but kept it on the lead lap there. He must have been right in front of him as they were coming to the line. Justin racing out of the Pacific Northwest, and awesome job waiting to hang in there for a top 10 with the MX-5.
That's an impressive deal. So,
Stephen Moore coming home 11th there. He was leading halfway into the last lap. I mean, that's just crazy how it all worked out. I think it was him and Alan Space maybe that got together right in the wall coming on to no name straightaway.
No name straight.
The only thing we call it.
Other name, Todd Eldridge, P26. Carl Edward in that amazing livery, P27. All kinds of Jason Skeen, P31. That's pretty good spread across the field here. So that was fun.
Okay, let's have a look at the replay.
All right, we'll take a look at the replay.
Let's see where it all went wrong there for Stephen Moore.
All right, so you see there, so the leaders are to the right there. We're watching John, who got through it all. So you'll see there, the leaders are in front of the screen, the bottom. They're all wrecking, and John just snuck right past.
Yeah, it looked like Alan Space. I think that's who's in that MX-5 with the Acura livery. He was just not aware of the closing rate that Stephen Moore had, and so he was just driving.
So we'll watch Stephen Moore right here.
Yeah, Stephen Moore's coming through here. He almost hits the parked MX-5 that was upside down. He barely misses it, but then he goes up the inside. Looked like. Okay, so Alan Space got on the brakes to avoid a slow car in front of him, and then Stephen had nowhere to go. Tried to turn left, but we know these things aren't having a good time right now with their setups. Man. Yeah, I think if we can get the Allen Space replay, we'd see exactly what caused it. But, man, that was it looked like, so there's the slow MX-5. It's the blue one with the orange roll cage. And so I think Alan Space is going to run in the back of him. Sorry if I gave the wrong car.
That is Mazda number 100. I'm not sure which car that was, but I believe it was number 100 on the Mazda that was the problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a interesting series of events. But man, crazy race for John Cantu.
Yeah, I mean,
Eric, have you seen a race at Lime Rock like this?
Okay, so here's
Skeen.
No, I think that'd be a blast.
Was that
Jason,
Skeen?
So Skeen had a problem, was going slow there, and Alan Space was about to run in the back of him. As we back this up, you'll see it. So he's going super slow. Oh yeah, that back camera is going to be perfect.
Yep, and I think so. I'm guessing it was re-entry, and Skeen is like, well, I may as well re-enter on the line.
Yeah, I'll just drive right out here.
Yep, there
and
we
so
go.
Alan Space is coming. He's got nowhere to go. Slams on the brakes, turns left. Oh.
And John just far enough back to react.
Yeah.
So Stephen Moore, nowhere to go. Stephen did nothing wrong in there, but well, kudos to Jason Skeen for keeping it interesting.
He always makes his mark on the race, I tell you.
Poor Stephen Moore. There, look at him.
Yeah. Man, after having a killer, he had a killer race last night. Good pace all day. Man.
Yeah. No, that is something.
Yep. But he's still fighting all the way to the line there. I love that.
Oh, there's more. Oh, gosh. Oh, he didn't even get to the end. And that's just where he's going to be done. That's too bad.
Man, I tell you. Well.
Let's see. Let's see if we can get John in the on the Zoom.
While we're doing that, just a friendly reminder that we couldn't do any of this stuff, especially the podcast that just came out, without Continental Tire. Eric uses Continental tires on his WR race car. His family has worked with Continental for a long time. His uncle Bruce works there. So once again, guys, we really appreciate you tagging us and all the photos of the Continentals that you're buying and posting. That goes a really, really long way. And we can't say enough thanks for doing that. Please keep that going. It means a lot.
All right, who have we got? Oh, I think there's a Steven in the Zoom. That might be Stephen Moore. We'll try it. We'll see. If not, it won't be. All right, we're connecting audio. We're slowly getting there.
So I think Stephen Moore is in the chat room and wrote, is that why they don't do multi-class racing at Lime Rock anymore?
All right, Stephen. No, Stephen.
What? Yeah. What? What's
is this
up?
Stephen Moore? It only says Stephen on the thing. Is it Stephen Moore? Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
All right. Well, we just watched a bunch of replays. Tell us your opinion on what happened.
I don't know. I was going and then
go on.
There was a bunch of cars in the way, and I thought I could just push one of the Miatas out of the way.
Right.
And I still think I could, but it just didn't work that last time. So I don't know. That was just crazy the last few laps. I think my bumper may have gotten stuck to it. I don't know. But I was hoping to just shove it out of the way. That was my goal. I mean, I could have lifted, but no. So.
Yeah, why would you do that?
So you were in our practice race last night. You had I would say, the best handle on these cars. You were incredibly fast last night. And it seemed like it might be your day, and then it just wasn't.
I mean, I don't know. I still had fun. I mean, John was up there with me the whole time. So I'm glad he won because he deserved it too. I don't know. The start was just awesome. The restart, I went from 27th to 6th in the first corner. I honestly don't know what happened. I just kind of rode the inside wall and
Nice.
I came out and I was sick. But yeah, it was really fun. I don't know why, but when it's so hard to drive, it just feels, I don't know. It's just fun because nobody can control it.
I got you. All right. Well, any sponsors you want to thank for your great efforts tonight?
No.
Please?
Steven, you're our best guest yet.
Please?
Myself personally, no, but to you guys in Continental, you got and Acura.
There you go.
If there's an Acura V8 in this, the only choice it could be is the Indy 500 winning engine. So
there you go.
That's why it was so good. But I'm so grateful that you guys put on this, and Continental makes it happen. It was awesome. I had them all over the car today because if they're going to make these wings a giant billboard, why not use them?
There you go.
Very good.
We appreciate that, and a hell of a job both tonight and last night. You were really on it, but get them next time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's. We do have a race winner here. I think he's already on with us. If I'm looking at my thing right, is that John? Can you talk?
Hey, Sean. How's
All
it
right,
going?
there it is. Okay. And all right, Steven, I'm going to kick you out. I'm sorry if I don't know how to do that. Let's see. Put in waiting room. Hold on. I did it. Okay.
Thanks, Steven.
All right, John Cantu, the big race winner.
Was that Stephen Moore you just had on?
That
guy's
was.
a beast. I tell you what, that guy's something else. He really had the speed. That was yesterday. He had the race too. That guy's something else. I want to quickly thank Eric Foss. You're the man. Thank you for being here with us. Continental Tires. I know you showed up on your Continental Tires. Everybody loves the hat. You are absolutely amazing. I know you got that Acura engine in there too with the wink wink. But it's thanks for being here though, bud. It's really nice seeing you.
Hey, great driving. It was fun to watch you.
All right. So, John, you've won races before, but this is your first broadcast race win, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that is correct. I believe this would be the first broadcast race. And always you win the secondary races, the stuff. But, I want to thank you too, Sean. Ryan, thank you very much for being here for the Continentals and your Acura. And, you got to love it. Everybody loves the Ryan Emerson Continental Tire.
Continental Tire.
There it is. Thank you very much. I know we're not a political show in any way, shape, or form, but I got to take just 1 second and say if there's one man that we can all get around with, and we think of DC, we can only think of Dane Cameron. Thank you very much, Dane Cameron. I got to say you're the man. We're very sorry, but, thanks, bud.
Sorry, Dane.
Sorry, Dane.
So, John, I wanted to ask you because we were watching you last night, and we didn't want to give away what we thought you might have been doing, but it seemed like you were really good at forcing the understeer early into corners like turn one and the uphill. So you weren't getting up on three wheels as much as some of the other guys. What were you doing to make the car turn a little bit better than everybody else?
Honestly, it was kind of weird. You had to do a lap or so. You had to do a couple corners, and then it would pop up and say, your wheels are out of alignment. Once that happened, then the car would settle in. And as long as you drag the throttle, you could let off the throttle, brake in, but then once you drag the throttle, it would just hold the weight on and then wouldn't ever allow that weight transfer to bottle out. And you would kind of just drift the car through those right-handers and stuff.
I love you. I love you. That is awesome. That is so awesome.
100%. That was the Continental Tires and the Acura motor in there. And it might have been some caffeine pills I might have got from this English gentleman, but we're not going to talk about those.
You mean Oliver Jarvis?
Just saying. I mean, I wasn't going to mention names.
Okay, I'll say Oliver Jarvis is a drug dealer. I'll say it.
Yeah, yeah. The official drug dealer of Dinner with Racers.
Yep.
I'd agree with that. I'd say the big head might be Marino, but we'll go with Jarvis.
Nice. Okay, so I think that's all we got.
Yeah, great job, man.
Congratulations. That's awesome to see, man.
Oh, real quick before we lose you, how does it work out between you and Danielle Talbert now? You guys are teammates in your other endurance racing leagues, and you had contact coming back onto the track. Is that going to cause any rough edges around the next coming races for you guys in your other series?
I think I'm going to have to figure out if I can stroop and waffle her some DoorDash over there or some send her something along those lines because, I really messed that up for her. So apologies to you, Daniela. Thanks for being here. Continental Tires.
All right.
Thanks, brother.
We'll hear from one more person. Good job, John. Congratulations. And Jared Wakefield is with us here. Jared was also caught up in that schmozzle. I think that's our first schmozzle. And
today, at least, yeah.
So, Jared, explain that final lap to us.
It was a great race. That was fantastic. That's the most fun I've had on iRacing in a bit. So, even though that happened, that was fantastic. I saw Steven start to get sideways, so I just kind of backed the corner up and figured I'd drive as straight as I could. There was no driving straight on the grass. It was kind of just do this to the wheel and hope the car ended up at the pavement. Ended up there, saw Steven go off to the left with Alan, I think, and I'm like, oh, yeah, perfect. And then I looked at the replay. I thought I had Jason clear, but, my car, just kind of, slowly leaned right into him, and I just wowed him. I mean, I cleaned him out. I mean, there's nothing I could really do there. I realized I hit him. I'm like, oh no, I mean, still finished third. But that was a blast. You know, the racing like with that before Steven and when John caught up, that was awesome. You know, working our way through traffic. It was like that we were running the Daytona 24, except we were in, you know, the new LMDH cars and the rest of the field was in a Formula V. So it was hilarious. That was great.
Nice. We're watching your replay right now in slow motion as you cut through the grass here. And I mean, man, just another few feet and it would have been all yours. But anyway, this is your sophomore year, I believe, in our series. And it seems like you're adapting pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, the dirt stuff is what I run a lot. So I kind of just knew if I just equalized the weight and there was a bump spring in the left rear. And if you took that out, it would let the car travel and it wouldn't tip as much because it would actually set. So I was just let it set and roll over and then just drive it straight. And the other guys seemed like they were getting better on exit for me, but I was almost as quick as the Miatas through the center of the corner. So I would rather take the center corner speed because they really couldn't pass me unless I got a push. Which was the one downside. If you didn't load the car up, it was going to push. You had to load it up right.
How difficult was it to take the grass cut through every time? Like, was it something that was pretty hairy? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I go through there even quarter throttle, and you're just like you're just basically just manhandling the car. And if you give it any more throttle, like I saw a few guys just spin out taking it. So I was just trying to take it light. It was all really tough. I mean, at least with the shortcut, like the bumps would kind of keep you on track, that as long as you made it through, you were fine. Big Bend was really tough because the car feels like it wants to unload down there for whatever reason. So I would have to get on the brakes, load the fronts, let the car roll, let it neutralize, and then get on the gas before I've even hit the apex to load the left rear back up and get through the corner.
Yeah, these replays are awesome. You and Stephen Moore battling all the way to the end there. But what was the trick to the uphill? Eric pointed out that he expected the wheelies to be a lot better. Were you guys lifting quite a bit, or how'd you handle that?
I would just kind of go through and just hold my throttle trace. Like I get about half throttle through center, and as long as the car was stuck, and I'd kind of just walk it over the top. Because if you got off, it would actually upset the car a little bit, and it would come down as you hit the crest. You'd and it would. Yeah. When I was doing it in practice, there were a couple times where it would throw the car sideways. So I just kind of figured, okay, if you throttle up, you're going to do this. So I was just like, okay, if I just hold it, it picks up a little bit, and then it just gently sets back down. So if I just held it and didn't go off into the runoff or stay too far in, it honestly wasn't that bad. I honestly stopped noticing it after, once we got into a run, especially at the end.
Very good. Do you have any sponsors you want to thank today?
Oh, of course. Obviously, got to thank Continental Tire and Acura, for the beautiful pushrod V8 engines they're known for, and the sick checkerboard tread tires that they are very well known for. I mean, I believe Hoosier's owned by Continental, so I think
that's right.
So it works out anyway. So it's double brand promotion. It's awesome that we get to do this, and this was probably the most fun one I've been a part of, just because of how chaotic it was, and the racing was surprisingly really good. The guys up front, we could have done that for 20 more laps. And I think we would have been right on top of each other. So that was great. And I think more people would have caught up as we slowed each other down. So that was awesome.
Sure, for sure. Awesome, man. Well, great job tonight. Sorry you didn't pull off the win, but still really fun to watch.
Yeah, it was a good time, KMD.
And thank you for spelling KMD without saying any more.
Yeah,
yep, I knew.
All right.
I just put KMD on the front wing.
You're a good man.
Good to go.
All right. Yep. Well done, Jared. Congratulations.
Thanks, great guys. Job. Have a good one.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Cheers.
Well, I think on that note, I'd say we're done now. Historically, we've left some of the racing on for our other heat races or our other events that go on for the rest of the night. That is not going to be the case tonight. I apologize, but we have a bunch of things going on, and it's just not on the cards for tonight. But we did deliver a great night of racing, so take that.
Yeah, Eric, any final thoughts for the fans?
Oh, amazing. I want to drive a sprint car around Lime Rock now.
It looked badass.
It looks like a lot of fun. So, no, I appreciate you guys having me on as always. And it's great to be on here representing Continental Tire and hanging out with Ryan Eversley, my OG Honda guy.
That's
from
right.
back in the day.
That's right.
And it's been fun. So I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you at Daytona. The fans can follow you on on social media. I know you don't post a lot of stuff, but you're always up for a chat at the racetrack, and I think it's important for fans to know who they can walk up and say hi to. So if you're looking for someone at Daytona, go find Eric, talk to him, talk to Jeff Mosing, his teammate, and you'll see him on the podium towards the end of the race.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't tweet much, but I definitely am all about conversation in person.
All right. Well, thank you, Eric. And before we get out of here, Lee, you've been it's like 5 a.m. over there in England. What do you have to say?
I think it was worth staying up for, as always. Sean, so yeah, thanks very much for having me, guys. Like I say, we always see something unique when I do the Thursday night, for sure.
And Tyler, I think we just developed a new rule, which I like, which is getting penalized for being caught on camera.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
So what do you think? Any fun tonight?
Oh, I'm just getting ready to run race 2, so.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Well, that
Sorry
won't
for
be on
bothering
YouTube.
you.
So
That's all right.
All right, Ryan, final thoughts?
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun. Once again, please keep tagging and buying Continental tires. That goes so far. I mean, we hear about it all the time from our Continental reps, so it means a lot. Go check out those new podcasts that we just dropped. Bobby Rahal, 2-parter. He was unbelievable. Chris Willis is the best engineer I've ever worked with. And we just love the guy, and he was so great to talk to. He just totally gets it. Helped me win a championship, and Kevin Lee's a good guy. We just had a lot of fun. Mario Dominguez was probably the nicest guest we've ever had, which will be explained in more detail after you listen to it and see what we have coming. And for me, I have my racing plans are being announced tomorrow, so check back on my Twitter, Instagram, or whatever, and we'll see you guys at Daytona. And looking forward to next year.
That's it. Bye.
Bye.